I would add tolerance. We are here as a family, and I recall Right Honorable Do Ajahu when in 2013 we had orientation at Gimpa. He shared with us his own experience as an MP with fire in his belly when they saw the Honorable J.H. Mensah, the minority leader of the MPP side at the time, that he was quite combatant, only to realize that after sitting, he and the Speaker, the Right Honorable D.F. Anna, were in the office enjoying some good whiskey. And he told them that you young men, you think we are here to fight. We are not fighting. We discuss ideas. And it changed his perception about his attitude towards colleagues opposite him in the chamber. The Speaker, for me, I believe that we don't just come here as parliamentarians, but we come here to build friendship and relationship. Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is that friendship and relationship that earn you that your enviable position. We may not be happy that you assume the chair in the 8th Parliament, but it's because of relationship that perhaps got some people to believe that, oh, that is our friend, let's entrust in him the powers of speakership. So I want to encourage colleagues that no matter what, the Speaker has called upon us to have patience. I am adding tolerance to it. We may disagree, but that is the beauty of politics. We cannot always agree. Let's disagree, but be measured in the language we use even where we disagree. Mr. Speaker, we cannot all be perfect. We are never perfect. We make mistakes. I make mistakes. But we should be committed to the national interest and know that today we may be to your left, tomorrow we may be to your right. Fortunately, the two political parties Mr. Speaker, my respected senior Muntaka Mubarak has not spoken into the mic, but he's saying that at least Mincha 5 years answer Makasa. Mr. Speaker, you have only 3.5 years left. Mr. Speaker, so fortunately, the two political parties that have taken the stage in this fourth Republican Constitution have all tasted power and have tasted opposition. So I think we must better understand this whole concept of patience and tolerance. So, Mr. Speaker, I would end here by thanking you and assuring you that the needful as you have enjoined us to pursue. Oh, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
yes, Minority Leader.
The needful as you've enjoined us to pursue shall be pursued. I want to thank you once again for the fatherly approach you've adopted in dealing with this matter. Thank you so much.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think your statement is explanatory enough. of the issues of yesterday and the rules that should govern proceedings in this House. And so, Right Honourable Speaker, I have no intention of belaboring the point. I think all I can say is that we should all take time to study the rules. We should all take our time to study the rules. My brother, Honorable Muntaka, is here. My brother, Eric Opoku, is here. Haruna just left. Even after 20 years in this chamber, every single morning or afternoon I enter the chamber, I still take the rules to check before I make any move. Even when my backbench or my colleagues are trying to do something, I know I will have to defend them. So I'm quickly through. Sometimes when you see me looking at my phone, I have made an electronic copy of it, and so I'm busy looking at it to make sure that if somebody is faltering, I can check them and draw their attention that, no, that's not what the rules say. I think the problem is that we are not investing in the rules. If we invest in the rules, many of the issues that we are confronted with in this chamber will not arise. They will not arise. People will know when and how and under what circumstances a statement should be made, no matter how urgent. So my only plea is that let's invest in the rules. It is not about how loud you can shout. It's not about the size of your muscles. It is not. It's not how big your chest can be. It is not. Somebody says I should add breast, but I won't add breast. It is basically what the rules say that you can do or not do in this chamber. And when people are trying to insist on the rules, please let it not be presented as if there is an attack on one side of the House. It's just the rules. It's simply the rules. The rules may make provision for us to make concessions, but those concessions must be willingly made. They cannot be coerced. They cannot be forced on anybody. It has to be negotiated, willingly made. If the evidence is that there is no willingness to make those concessions, we must continue as dictated by the rules. So, Mr. Speaker, you have a long business today, and so I will not repeat any of the things that you have already said. I believe in this chamber, you remain a fountain of wisdom, sagacity, and knowledge of the rules. And we'll continue to learn from you and to be guided by you. And I thank you very much for giving us this ruling without penalizing any member of this House. Your magnanimity is appreciated. Clearly, there were very serious and egregious breaches of the rules.
Honorable Majority Leader, clearly it's not the understanding of the House that you proceed along that journey. So you just conclude. Please don't chip away my powers. I have to decide whether he should withdraw or he should leave it at that, not any of you. So please desist from going in that direction. and then conclude.
Mr. Speaker, you yourself said you will not punish. You clearly said that you will not punish. And that is what I'm commending you and thanking you for. To say you will not punish is to admit that there was a punishable conduct. So I'm just commending you.
Majority
I'm
leader.
just commending you for not punishing.
Majority
I'm just thanking
leader.
you, Mr. Speaker.
Please.
I'm just thanking you, Mr. Speaker.
Please. I know you very well. Sometimes, you see, do I say it?
So Mr. Speaker, I'm just thanking you. I'm just thanking you.
Do I say it?
I'm just appreciating you, Mr. Speaker. My Nigerian friends say, I'm just appreciating you, Mr. Speaker. You are highly appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please know that this House, the Parliament of Ghana, is globally ranked very high, and people respect us. And it has shown in all the conferences you've attended that any time a member of Parliament stands for a position from Ghana, the member is elected and given the position. Have you realized that? Yes. They don't even contest you. Once we say you are from Ghana and you are contesting a position, it's given to you. And many of you seated here are holding those positions. So please, in your own interest, even if you are not talking about the country, your own interest, we have to conform. I sit here as the chair of all the speakers in Africa. And that is why you see me, as somebody said, changing plane in mid-air. I don't know how that happens, but I have to run around the parliaments in Africa, whether north, south, east, west, central, they call on me. And you know I'm the immediate president of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, 182 parliaments. And so we've been well branded and marketed. And that inures to your benefit and to the benefit of the country. So take these matters seriously. I'm getting to the end. You are just starting. That will be a better career for you than me. So please, allow the old man to mentor you properly. We have in our midst some distinguished visitors from our schools. You know, they are leaders of today and tomorrow. We have students from the Jachi Pramso Senior High School. They spelled it with J-A. That's why I said Jachi. And it's at the Bosuntri constituency. And they are led by the head of the department in the person of Collins Opoku Brahin. They are 88 in number. 88. They are to my right. And on your behalf, I want to welcome them and to encourage them to keep on coming. We want to catch you young, let you perform better than we are doing today. So you are most welcome, and please take time to learn and observe what is happening here. You may resume your seats. We also have students from the La Kwatanang Madina constituency, coming from the school called Gladys Otima Memorial School. They are led by the civic educator in the person of Hannah 9 They are 16 in number, and they are to the left of the Speaker. You are also warmly welcome, and please make good use of your presence here. We thank you for coming. Please resume your seats. And we also have the third group coming from Yilo Krobo constituency, from the Doorbell International. They are led here by the administrator in the person of Leroy Obing Yirenchi. They are to the left of the Speaker. You are also welcome. Please make the best of your time here. You see your MPs, they are not fighting, they only debate. We expect you to be more decorous and decent than us. Please, you may resume your seats. Honorable members, I did this because they will be taking round and showed some places and giving some lectures. Now we can go to correction of votes and proceedings, and we do that snappy before we move on to the AM questions. We have a number of ministers available to do so. We start with the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 10th June 2024. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Your mic is not on. Please.
Okay. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, may I seek your guidance on this matter? Item number 5 on page 6. It spills over to page 7. Names of members who are listed as absent without permission, even though I can identify as many as 13 out of that list whose leave of absence with permission has come to me. I've recommended for approval and remitted it to your office for approval. So I am wondering how that can be rectified. Yes, he will do that. No.
Yes, honorable members. Anyway, let me listen to the Deputy Minority Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the Majority Chief Whip should know the rules. You just guided us on how statements are to be admitted. The same thing applies to members on leave of absence. Mere transmission does not mean approval. Until there is an approval from the Speaker, the member cannot be captured as absent with permission. And for that matter, you should know how to do the application.
Mr. Speaker, he didn't listen to me. at all. I rose to seek your guidance because some of the names that have been captured as absent without permission, the members apply for just 3 days. And so when they submit it to me, I recommend for approval, and then I quickly forward to your secretariat. I see that some have been caught by a fruition of time. That's why I'm seeking your guidance that eventually when the approval comes or otherwise, how would it be rectified? You just don't get up and say, I should know the rule. Please, don't do that. Don't do that. So, Speaker, that's why I'm seeking your guidance, because these are, the application of the rules are also fused with administrative exigencies, and it keeps happening. So I am only seeking your guidance on the matter. Be patient.
Honorable members, the order paper, the votes and proceedings are both prepared from records. And so if the records hadn't reached the office of the clerk, they will be captured as being absent without permission. If later on the approval is given and submitted to the office, the necessary corrections will be done. So please, let's take it as these are the reasons why these are drafts meant for correction. And so when this happens, kindly draw our attention to it. Sometimes, even though recommended, we disapprove. There are a number of times we have disapproved some of the recommendations. So it's advisable for members to always get the approval before you absent yourself. In any case, no damage is caused when you absent yourself without permission for just a few days. That is permitted because of the nature of our work. The rule only says for more than 15 days. And that one definitely is within a meeting. It's not like the old rules that dealt with a session. That is a whole year. But this one, a meeting of about 3 months. The rule too doesn't say it must be continuous. No, it doesn't say so. So when you accumulate absence for more than 15 days within a meeting, we can add all and say you have vacated your seat. This one, when you disagree with me, the courts are there for you to go and try your luck. So we move on. That is the guidance I can give. Page 7. Yes, please.
Honorable Speaker, on page 7, item 6, recognition of schools stroke visitors. Because the top items capture only schools, I'll be grateful if we delete the visitors and leave out only recognition of schools to conform with what we've been doing currently. I'm seeing that on item 6, we have recognition of schools stroke visitors, but we have here listed only schools. So if you could delete the visitors and leave only recognition of schools. Thank you.
Well, Honorable Member, you are right, but that's the heading on the document that is submitted to the office. Is there recognition of schools stroke visitors? But since we had only schools, you don't need to add the visitors. Page 8. Yes, page 8. Yes.
Speaker, item number 7, paragraph 5. Speaker, I recall vividly that in giving the direction, you indicated that the forms be submitted within 14 days. That's the application for the grant or otherwise of a member seeking to hold office of profit should be submitted to the committee within 14 days for their consideration and report. The application is not simply to be submitted to the committee. The committee is to consider it and report for final approval, if that can be indicated.
Yes, it must be properly captured. It's the forms that should be processed through the committee or submitted to the committee within 14 days, not the regularization of that. Yes. So that is what I talked about, because I don't know the advice that will come from the committee, and so I can't anticipate that, but I know they will always advise me as to whether to approve or not to approve, and I'm not bound anyway by the advice. I'm guided by it.
A very good afternoon. Welcome to Biz Brief. This is your daily update in the world of business. My name is George Quinn. We're live on Facebook, STV3 Ghana. Coming up this afternoon, Ghana's economy sees robust growth in first quarter of 2025, driven by services and agriculture sectors. Thanks for your time, and let's bring you the forex markets, how the local currency is faring against other major trading currencies. And the dollar is selling at 10 cedis 25 pesos, and you can buy that for 10 cedis 24 pesos. And the pound is 13 cedis 83 pesos if you're buying it, but it's selling at 13 cedis 85 pesos. And the euro is going for 11 cedis 71 pesos as selling price, and 11 cedis 70 pesos as the buying price. And now some news updates boxed up in 60 seconds. And that was business in 60 seconds. And now Ghana's economy demonstrated strong performance in the first quarter of 2025, expanding by a significant 5.3%. This marks an improvement from the 4.9% growth rate recorded in the same period of 2024, according to the latest data released by the Ghana Statistical Service. Government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu attributed this growth primarily to the robust expansion observed in both the services and agricultural sectors. Take a listen.
Nominal GDP for 2025 quarter one was 375.2 billion Ghana cedis. And this increased from the 2024 quarter one nominal GDP of 290.7 billion Ghana cedis. Non-oil nominal GDP, which is nominal GDP excluding oil and gas, was 364.3 billion Ghana cedis, up from 278.3 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 of quarter one. Real GDP for 2025 quarter one, this will be the GDP after we have taken the effect of inflation away. And that was 53.5 billion Ghana cedis. And this increased from the 2024 quarter one real GDP of 50.8 billion Ghana cedis. I must say that the 2025 quarter one real GDP represents a growth rate of 5.3%, up from 4.9% in the same period in 2024.
And now the World Bank has cautioned that the growth outlook for sub-Saharan Africa, including Ghana, is facing significant downside risk. According to the institution's June 2024 Global Prospect Report, escalating global trade tensions could lead to weaker than projected global growth, posing challenges to the region's economic prospects.
The report highlights that while the direct impact of increased U.S. trade barriers on sub-Saharan African economies may be limited, further trade fragmentation or a sharper slowdown in global growth could have considered adverse effects due to the region's dependence on commodity trade. A slowdown in China, for instance, would negatively impact demand for minerals and metals, affecting countries that rely heavily on these exports. Other downside risks identified by the World Bank include worsening political instability within the sub-region, particularly in East Africa and the Sahel, and the potential for increased debt servicing caused if global interest rates remain high. The institution warns that persistently high global interest rates could heighten the risk of government debt distress, undermining recent progress in fiscal consolidation. Conversely, the report notes that subsiding global trade tensions could benefit sub-Saharan African growth outlook through improved global economic activity, lower export tariffs, and stronger global investor appetites.
Well, if you just tuned in, you're watching Base Brief here on TV3 with me, George Quinn. More news this afternoon. Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosei-Jare, is leading a diplomatic effort in Washington, D.C. to secure the renewal of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA. The preferential trade program is critical for many African economies as it's slated to expire in September of this year. And there's more in the following 3 Business News Desk report.
A delegation from Ghana is actively lobbying the U.S. for the renewal of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, a crucial trade program set to expire soon. Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosei-Jare highlighted how AGOA has boosted Ghanaian manufacturing, created jobs and attracted U.S. investment, especially in garment and textiles. The push comes amidst concerns over U.S. trade policies and tariffs. Minister Ofosei-Jare also addressed the U.S. concerns regarding Ghana's local content policies and other trade issues, assuring that they are being addressed. Both nations agreed to resume negotiations under the U.S.-Ghana Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, TIFA. Ghana hopes to secure AGOA's renewal to protect its non-traditional export sector and future trade. AGOA, first enacted in 2000, grants duty-free access to the U.S. market for over 6,000 products from eligible sub-Saharan African countries. Its non-renewal could have a substantial impact on Ghana's non-traditional export sector and broader trade strategy.
Well, I'm sure you're interested in knowing how the local cedi is performing. The currency has gained significant strength since January, attributed to a combination of fiscal and monetary policies, including the accumulation of gold reserves. Ghana's gold reserves have risen by 1.4 tons in 5 months, reaching 32.16 tons in May 2025, up from 30.53 tons in December 2024. This report shows how gold reserves can help strengthen the local currency.
Gold reserve signals to investors and international community that the country has a tangible, universally accepted store of value. This creates a perception of economic stability and strength, which can attract foreign investment and increase confidence in the cedi. Holding gold diversifies a country's foreign exchange reserves, reducing its over-reliance on a single currency like the dollar. This diversification lessens exposure to fluctuations in major international currencies, thus stabilizing the cedi's value. A strong gold mining sector, especially if managed to ensure local retention or conversion of export proceeds, can significantly boost foreign exchange earnings. When gold is exported, the earnings in foreign currency eventually flow into the country, increasing the supply of foreign currency relative to the cedi, thereby strengthening the local currency. Programs like the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, where the Bank of Ghana buy gold locally in cedis, create a consistent demand for the cedi within the domestic economy, reducing pressure of foreign exchange markets. This helps in balancing the supply and the demand for the cedi, contributing to its stability.
Well, that's how we end today's edition of Biz Brief. We came to you live from the News Hub here at Adisawe Kanda. My name is Josh Quinn. For more news update, just log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Let's take you back to Parliament, where the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pepo, is answering questions on recent labour agitations.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister appears to have satisfied his people, so they are cheering him on. Mr. Speaker, they are cheering him on because
Majority.
Because, Mr. Speaker, he says that there is an ongoing...
Honorable Minority Leader, please.
Oh, very well, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, clearly what he's saying offends the rules. You've asked a question. It has been brilliantly answered. All you need to do is to ask follow-up questions. The reaction of the House should not be a subject matter for your commentary. Just ask your follow-up questions.
Well. Honorable Minority Leader, supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I take it from where the Majority Leader said that the many Ghanaians whose employment have been terminated, for which the Minister says they are yet to know the number, he considered it as a brilliant answer when many Ghanaian citizens have been sent home. That is very rich, but let's proceed. Honorable Minister, have you become aware that following the directive, state agencies have issued termination letters to people who were already in their employ?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have stated that when the directive was given, the Chief of Staff has set up a committee on behalf of government. Some investigations are being done. We'll first of all want to verify to know the truth of it, how many numbers, and what government can do about it. So it's not like we already have the answers to give right now.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
The Honorable Minister standing at the dispatch box is telling us that the Minister, the Chief of Staff's letter called for investigation, and that when the investigation is done, they will be able to validate the authenticity or otherwise of such appointment. Mr. Speaker, is he aware that even before the investigation could be completed, citizens who were in the employ of state institutions that are commercial in nature as well as public service institutions
Who is far away from the Majority Leader? Honorable Asahini, when
when you were sitting there, were you not guided? Have you finished with the questioning?
Very well. Mr. Speaker, maybe I'll rephrase it. The minister standing in the dispatch box is telling us that there is a committee to investigate and to validate the authenticity or otherwise of those who are already in the employ of one, state institutions that are commercial in nature, public service institutions, and those in the civil service. Now, has he become aware that, as in his own words, the committee is yet to finish its work? Yet, Ghanaians who were in the employ of the institutions mentioned supra have had their appointment terminated even before the committee could complete its work. Have you become aware?
Yes, Honorable
You are
Minister.
on oath as a minister. Have you become aware?
Mr. Speaker, we are speaking in Parliament, and I'm very aware that you must speak under oaths. So I can speak under oaths when there is credible evidence for me to come here and say, yes, there has been such a situation. But, Mr. Speaker, what he has said reminds me of one of the issues that we are going to tackle to make sure we put a stop to this cyclical dismissal of people which started in 2008 and continued, was terminated, stopped by Professor Mills, continued again by Nanado, and then it is taking a cyclical position. So, Mr. Speaker, with the report that will come, I'm going to be one of the people who will say governments will come, but employees must stay in office. Mr. Speaker, so we are just hoping that eventually when the results come, we'll come here to discuss it. I'll call on the House so we can take a position about it.
Yes. Honorable.
Responsible for labor, employment, and jobs is telling the people's representatives that he is unaware of any dismissal as a sequel to the letter from the Chief of Staff. The nation has heard him. Now, have you become aware of any petition to your office as a result of actions taken against any employee of the state as a result of the Chief of Staff's letter?
Minister, any petition?
Mr. Speaker, let me just correct an impression he's giving out that I said I'm not aware. I have not. I said that I'll speak under oath, I'll speak with evidence, and I'll speak when the evidence comes, and I'll present it to this House. I never said yes or no to your question, but I'm not aware, as you have said now.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the rules are very clear on how we should conduct ourselves. I, as a questioner, am guided by the rules. I believe that in the same spirit, my respected senior, who played a role in building me in this chamber, also has a duty. I ask a direct question. Whether or not you are become aware of any dismissal as a sequel to that letter from the Chief of Staff, and your answer was you've not become aware. No, I just want clarity. Please, colleagues, Mr. Speaker, just for record, let me repeat it so that you bring clarity to your answer. Honorable Minister, the Chief Whip does not like being heckled. The majority Chief Whip does not like being heckled. Would he be tolerant? Honorable Minister, just for clarity, have you become aware that as a result of the letter from the Chief of Staff, you are a public officer, a minister of state, have you become aware that as a result of the letter from the chief of staff, Ghanaians who were in the employ of 1, state institutions that the state has stake in them as for commercial purposes, 2, public service institutions, 3, the mainstream civil service. Have you become aware?
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, what was his original question? His original question, Mr. Speaker, is to ask the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment the total number of Ghanaian youth affected. His interest was the total number of Ghanaian youth affected. The Minister said he has instituted an investigation which will provide that information. And if that information is presented to him in a report, he will present to this House. So why are you now asking whether he's aware that somebody has been dismissed or not? The Minister says that what you have asked about, I have instituted an investigation. I'm expecting a report. On the basis of that report, I will respond.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, bear with me a second. Mr. Speaker, just this afternoon, we were all encouraged to follow the rules. The leader of the House just told us that he has even an electronic copy of the rules book. Mr. Speaker, when a question is asked, as a supplementary question, its admissibility is entirely in your hands.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it is not, yes, Mr. Speaker, it is never in our rules. No,
Leader,
Mr. Speaker, it is not for, Mr. Speaker,
Leader,
what the majority leader is doing. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is leading us. Majority leader is leading us and he should lead us.
Leader.
No, Mr. Speaker, with respect, I would always be guided by precedents. If the new precedent is that a member can rise on a point of order to a question for Mr. Speaker to rule on, let the record reflect.
Leader, I think he's just drawing the entire House attention
doesn't have that right.
To the fact that
to decide.
We brought the minister here to answer specific questions. And the supplementary question should always flow from. So probably he's drawing our attention. So honorable leader, I will ask you to ask the supplementary question, but it must flow directly from the answer he has given. Because if it's going to be something else, then probably we have to ask the minister to go back and prepare and come back. Because this is a house of records. We don't force him to probably give an answer that will turn out to be false. So you have the floor as supplementary question, but it must flow from the answer he has given.
Mr. Speaker, I want you to set the record straight on this matter. And I'm happy Honorable Muntaka is in this chamber. Because, Mr. Speaker, there are senior members who have been insisting on the rules. I want you to bring a finality to this matter, which is, can a member rise on a point of order regarding a supplementary question with the aim of claiming that he is drawing the Speaker's attention, or it is the Speaker's sole right and discretion to admit a supplementary question or otherwise? Mr. Speaker, if you so rule that any member can rise to raise an objection, let the record reflect and I'll be guided. Because when people are talking about rules and the rules are being breached and the same people are sitting in this chamber, they won't talk. They won't talk. There are Sawasi MPs in this chamber and the majority leader is breaching the rule. He won't talk. He won't talk.
Leader, are you addressing me or are you addressing?
Mr. Speaker, I'm addressing you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that if a certain precedent is being set, I'm not worried. Because one day I will have the chance to use the same precedent.
Yes. So
he should allow you to do your work. It shouldn't chip away your powers.
Very well.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, I'll proceed with the question. Honorable Minister, you have just told this House that you have set up a committee to investigate and validate the authenticity or otherwise of some of these appointment letters. I want to find out from you, in view of the investigation that you are doing, have you become aware of any petition in your office regarding such mass dismissals?
Minister, are you aware of any petition?
Mr. Speaker, this question is a very straightaway question, and we'll get a straightaway answer. If there were no such complaints, requests, there wouldn't have been a committee.
Well.
Those things have come. We are set up a committee and we're working on them. Why are you asking whether I'm aware? They are there. My man, my minority leader. We have been together for a long time, so just give it up. So I can.
Minister, just answer the questions. Don't say yes.
Honorable Minister, in the question, I referred you to the dates of the letter, 10th of February 2025. Fortunately, you have been honest with this House by saying that you become aware that as a sequel to that, we've had some mass dismissals. That is why you are investigating. Now, in view of the unemployment situation we have, would you, in the interim, direct, that is pending the investigation, let me bring clarity, instead of these innocent Ghanaians sitting at home without any job, would you direct that they get back their jobs pending the validation of their appointment letters? Because, Mr. Speaker, from what you are saying, you are not done yet. However, certain actions have been taken that have rendered them unemployed. Teachers, nurses, and we need teachers in rural communities. We need nurses in rural health facilities, CHIP compounds, etc. Would you, in the interim, suggest or direct that they are giving back their job pending the final outcome of the investigation?
Honorable Muntaka, you hold on. You hold on. Minister, just respond to the question.
Hey, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I don't have the capacity. Secondly, if I had the capacity, I don't have the basis. The basis must be clear from statistical evidence that would have come out from the investigations. Thank you.
Honorable Leader, I'll give you the last slot. You are a leader, that's why I have tolerated. This is the sixth question, supplementary question. So I will.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker, don't give. There are daggers out. Don't arm them to.
Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I've not asked. We withdrew.
Respectfully, I'm.
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Very well. Very well.
Oh, you want to?
Mr. Speaker, no. Don't encourage it, Mr. Speaker. Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it, Mr. Speaker. Don't encourage it. We have to finish this.
Honorable Muntaka, just allow him to ask the last question, please. I beg of you.
He hasn't called you. So you said we should go by the rules. He hasn't called you. Don't put on your mic. He hasn't called you.
Honorable Leader, just ask the question, please.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister has told this House that until the investigations are over, he wouldn't know the total number of innocent Ghanaians who have been affected by this mass dismissal. He has on record also confirmed that indeed he's become aware of the dismissals. That is why he has set up the committee. What I want the minister to clarify on is whether he will, in view of the state of unemployment in the country, and in view of the fact that we need essential services to be rendered in our rural communities, teachers are needed, nurses are needed, would he recommend that pending the final outcome of the investigation, those who are currently suffering and are at home, they themselves, their dependents, their community will be restored in the interim? Would you recommend?
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of issues like that. I don't want to go there. Starting from the last 10 years, 8 years, and they have come forward to say that they had been dismissed for a very long time. They and their parents and their wives and their children suffered for 8 years. And today, Mr. Speaker, no, it's not politics. They suffered for 8 years. Now, if you are asking whether somebody who has been dismissed for 2 months, excuse me to say, has been dismissed for 2 months, whether it will be taken care of, I will expect that let's do a comprehensive stretch of the matter and help all those people. I'm very open to that. You know, the 2 months who have been left, plus the 8 years who have been left, let's put all together, and I'm willing to go the extra length to support so that we can take care of all of them. Mr. Speaker, it is something we will work together to solve, not just this one alone.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I'm done. I want to thank the minister for making an attempt. Mr. Speaker, let me thank him for making an attempt. But the jury is out there. The jury is out there.
Mr. Speaker, when did we have in our standing orders provisions for thanking the minister? When did we incorporate in the standing orders provisions for thanking ministers?
Yes, Chairman for the Economy Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the minister, is he aware that before such mass employment can be given to Ghanaians, it should be backed by financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance? I'm asking him, when you enter the office, have you come across this financial clearance? Have you come
You hear him?
Mr. Okay. Speaker, I have not finished. I'm asking him, when he entered the ministry, has he come across this financial clearance with respect to this mass, employment? Thank you.
Very well. Minister.
No, Mr. Speaker, I haven't come across that. Financial clearance depends on the health of the economy. And we are told that the economy is not healthy now. So essentially, when it is done, I'm very sure they will give financial clearance.
Very well. Yes. Honorable Mustafa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister when the investigation will be done for him to report to the House. When will the investigation that he has instituted will be completed for him to be able to report to the House? Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to monitor to find out when it will be done, and I don't know the time. It's ongoing. Thank you.
Well. Yes. Honorable Reverend Intimfojo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister in reference to teachers. Is he aware that on 10th of May 2024, in a letter signed by the Minister for Finance, a clearance given for 18,000 teachers to be recruited? 2024.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if there was any such clearance, I'm not aware. But if there was, it would have expired by now. It would have expired by now, Mr. Speaker.
Well. Yes, Honorable Emmanuel Bejura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister whether the purported dismissal were those who are on contract, probationers, or people who have finished working and are going on retirement.
Minister, did you get this question? Please, can you repeat the question?
Mr. Minister, I want to find out whether the purported dismissal, whether there are people who were on contract, those who have reached their retirement time, and then whether they were probationers who are within the 6 months and were asked to go home.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me reiterate that we are investigating it all and it will reveal. I mean, the reason is that this question is not specific to say the number. I said I don't know the number, yet we are investigating it. Then you are asking a similar question, which is very similar to that one. So, Mr. Speaker, when the results come out, you will get to know.
Well. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Honorable Member for Manchester South.
Honorable Minister, was there a prior impact analysis on the lives and families of those that were affected by the termination? Was there a prior impact analysis on the lives of those that were affected and their families before the termination was effected? Can you tell the House?
Honorable Member for Manchester, may I kindly ask you to file a fresh question? So that, yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister if the Minister is aware that there is an ongoing recruitment to fill the vacant positions that have been terminated by...
Yes, Honorable Minister. Or I should ask him to repeat the question. Honorable Member, may you repeat the question?
The Speaker, I am asking the Minister if he is aware that there are ongoing recruitment to fill the vacant positions that have been terminated as a result of the dismissal.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, please, let's listen to him. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I'm aware that some recruitments are happening. Whether they are to replace those that were dismissed earlier or not, I cannot say.
Well. Honorable, hold on. Honorable Chari Labi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, have you had complaints from people who were dismissed 2017 to 2024? And if you have, can you give us an idea of how many people were dismissed?
Honorable Honorable Deputy Minister.
Oh, wait a minute.
Honorable Deputy Minister.
Mr. Speaker,
the question is specific.
Mr. Speaker, let me amend my question. From the answers given by the minister, he indicated that there are petitions of people who were dismissed after 2016. I just want to know can you give us an idea of how many people have petitioned your office?
Honorable Minister. Honorable members, please allow me to handle the House, please. Honorable Deputy Minister, please. The minister did not come here to answer those members who have been probably released. Please ask a fresh question.
No, Mr. Speaker, please. In his answer, it's a follow-up to whatever answer the minister has given.
Yes.
The minister indicated to all of us here that some people were dismissed, and that
obviously the minister cannot give the figures.
Until
minister, can you give the figures?
He wouldn't know, so he should tell us the numbers.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I won't be able to give you the number of people who were dismissed from 2017 to 2024, but there are complaints, and I can confirm that huge numbers of people have come to say that they too should be restored, and I can provide the evidence at a later time.
Well. Lastly, Honorable Jerry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister just admitted that he is aware of some recruitments that are being done. Is he in the position to give us details of the respective institutions that are carrying out such recruitments? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I can't get that for him.
Well. Leader.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, earlier on, the Honourable Minister indicated that investigations are ongoing, but the people have been removed from their respective offices. Mr. Speaker, with deference to you, I want to find out is that a presupposition that the people were removed from offices without any basis?
Yes, Honourable.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. These things came to notice. We couldn't confirm. The Chief of Staff has put up a committee for investigating it, and it may be true, it may be not true. So let's wait until we get to the end.
Well. Honourable members, we turn to question B. Question B. And the question stands in the name of Honourable Frederick Addy, a member for Swaman. Honourable member, you have the floor now. The minister is listening to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I ask the question, may I seek your leave to effect some corrections on the last paragraph of my question to be asked. Looking at I'm seeing 7th March 2025. It's supposed to be 4th December 2024. So, Minister.
No. May I find out, Minister, the question that came to you? What was the date? Because that can be substantial. His insistence is December 2024. Is that not right?
Yes. It's
from your question.
4th December 20. The 7th March.
Yes, Minister. I want to be clear. If the question that came to you was in respect of the date December 2024, because that's what he is saying. If it is 2025 that came to you, I believe your answer is going to be based on 2025 and can give a different. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear to you. I just want to find out the question that was transmitted to you. It's what? 7th March. Honorable Member for Swaman, he says 7th March. Do I ask him to go ahead with the answer? Because the answer may be different.
The question has the same headline. It's only the date that has been changed. But we brought the date on to be the 4th of December, 2024.
So I just want to, if the answer will still satisfy you, then I'll ask the minister to go ahead to answer the question.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Will the answer satisfy you?
Yes, please.
Very well. Minister.
It depends. I rise to...
Honorable Muntaka.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, the rules are very clear. If his question is about 7th December and it's been written 7th March, that's not the question he asked. And therefore, he cannot be answered. The minister will have to be given time to come and answer the December 7th question. But if we now sit and say that, oh, the wordings are the same, Mr. Speaker, as you know, from December 7th, 2024, it's completely different from December 7th March 2025. And that's a duration of about 3 months. So obviously the answers cannot be the same. And the tendency, Mr. Speaker, because it's also an urgent question, there's no opportunity for him to know the answer the minister is going to provide. The minister will provide an answer, and then before you realize, it degenerates into debate, which is also against Order 87. So I think the right thing is for us to get the right question so that the right answer is given. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think I'll have to go with what Honorable Muntaka has just said. Because this is an urgent question, and mostly urgent questions, the answers are not provided on the order paper. So as to whether the member, the owner of the question, will be satisfied with the answer is another thing. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what my colleague, Honorable Muntaka, has tried to guide us to avoid. But in this instance, the question is premised on an incident, the incident of the theft of ICT equipment, except that the question has gotten the date of the incident wrong. So once the minister confirms that indeed that incident took place, the minister is on firm grounding to provide the answer. And I think that is what the honorable colleague is saying. And Mr. Speaker, I've been, I believe, a backbencher to get us to a stage where we have admitted his urgent question.
But Honorable Leader.
The minister has the answer as well.
Yes, Honorable Leader. Incidentally, I admitted the question, and the date is indeed 7th March. So it's the 7th March, that is the date that was transmitted to the minister. So I think the minister can go ahead and answer the question. So, Honorable Member, you brought the question, the date on it was 7th March, not the December you are talking about. This is the question.
Except that prior to asking the question, he's trying to draw our attention that he got the date wrong. And so he wants to correct the date even as he's asking the question. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Live long, leader. Live long, leader.
So just go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, do you want to announce your presence here?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Labour, Job and Employment what urgent security measures are being implemented to protect the ministry facilities and restore public confidence following the theft of ICT equipment at the ministry on the 4th of December 2024. That's all. That's it.
Where are you reading your question from?
That is B.
No.
B.
But he's still saying December. But the question on the other paper is 7th March. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we will engage our colleague to address the matter. I believe that this is a House of Records. To the extent that the amendment was not made proud, you admitted 7 March. So I would engage him so that the right information is transmitted for the minister to come back at the right time. Yes.
Minister, what do you say? Or you want?
Mr. Speaker, there are two things about this.
Yes.
There's a substance, which is the answer to a theft he's looking for, and there's a date, which is non-essential.
Okay.
I will provide the substance, which is more important than the date. Mr. Speaker.
But the owner of the question has already read the question. So,
Leader.
So you go ahead. Once he has read the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Leader, with all your indulgence, following the unfortunate incident, the ministry collaborated with the security and intelligence agencies to apprehend the suspects. Subsequently, the suspect was apprehended and has since been convicted by the Accra Circuit Court for 2 years for unlawful entry and stealing. Mr. Speaker, however, the ministry has intensified its security checks to avert any similar occurrences in the future. This includes regular screening of visitors, instituting restricted visiting hours for all clients of the ministry, and beefing up the 24-hour CTC TV security surveillance. The measures are evaluated and reviewed periodically for continuous improvement on the security situation of the ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member for Swaman, supplementary questions, if any.
No, please.
Very well. Honourable members, any supplementary question from any member? Very well. Yes, Honourable Member for Aswansi.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister, was there any theft on 7th March 2025 at the ministry?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, you will find that the questioner was not very specific about the dates, but there was a theft, and it has been addressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know that there was a theft and there was a response to the test, and we worked on it.
Yes, Honorable Member for Asante Achim Central.
Mr. Speaker, I would want to refer you to Order 86. Mr. Speaker, the question that Honorable Muntaka asked, specifically 86 1D, a question shall not raise an issue already decided or which has been answered substantially during the current session. The minister already corrected this date issue, and I was surprised that Honorable Muntaka was raising the issue about the 7th March whether there was a theft or not. It has become obtuse. Thank you.
Well noted. Yes, Honorable Member for Kwesimentin. Efia.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the Honorable Minister whether the convict was a staff of the institution or an outsider.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it was an outsider. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Stephen Amoa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know the reasons and whether the answers are going to restore what I'm going to ask. In my constituency, about 9 young, able, qualified citizens of Ghana went through all the needed processes required of them to be employed. And they've been sacked.
Honorable Stephen.
Including
you've gone
a
past
teacher.
that. Honorable Stephen, file a question.
This one is about Nshiaeso.
Yeah, file a question. You've gone past that.
No, it's about Nshiaeso. Stephen, if I can finish.
Honorable Stephen, you've gone past that question.
And the solution is provided.
It has no relation to this. So file a question.
Yes.
Lastly, let me listen to Bosome Freho.
Mr. Speaker.
This particular. Yes, Bosome Freho.
Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister if he can reiterate the clear-cut security measures that have been implemented to ensure that the place is secured.
Minister, any measures?
Mr. Speaker, the security measures have been stated very clearly. We have instituted a CTC camera 24 hours. We have made sure you now go through some scrutiny before you can go into the ministry. We have consulted the security services. They have put in place some security network which can track anybody who has done anything, even physically, by manually. So enough security has been put in place. Thank you.
Honourable members, since the minister is here, the minister still has a question to ask on the normal schedule. So I will skip other urgent questions scheduled for Honourable Minister for Defence to ask the owner of the question for 38 to ask for the minister to respond so that we can discharge him and come back to. So normal question 38. Normal question 38 stands in the name of Honorable Vincent Ekwa Asafua Oltafo. Yes? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I stand on Order 88.3 and want to crave your indulgence that in the absence of Honorable Eko Vincent Assefuah, I have his mandate to ask the question. And I...
Well. All well. You are granted. So go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
Leader, I beg of you. Let's move on.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Labour.
Hold on. Yes, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, when questions were asked of ministers, and Mr. Speaker, I don't want to use certain expressions, so don't use that. There was an earthquake in this chamber. Why the minister hadn't turned up to answer the question? The same people are asking ministers questions. The ministers have come and they are not here to ask the questions. Mr. Speaker, can he show the written authority? This is a House of Record. We want to see the record of the authority granted you to ask this question. When you insist on ministers being here to answer questions, you should also be here to ask the questions.
Honorable Majority Leader, well noted. So,
Mr. Speaker, we are here to encourage our first-timers and the backbenchers. Now, today's records will reflect that the Majority Leader and Leader of the House heckled a first-timer. And that is what just happened. He heckled a first-timer.
Honorable Member for Bosman Freho, you may go ahead to ask the question.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Labour, Job and Employment the measures the ministry is putting in place to ensure that foreign companies operating in Ghana adhere to the labour practices of employees being compensated usually at 150% of their normal hourly wage for working overtime.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Labour Act 2003, Act 651, makes specific provisions for matters relating to standard working hours, paid and unpaid overtime. Section 33 of Act 651 provides for maximum hours, while Section 34 provides for different hours of work. Section 335 of Act 651 guarantees paid overtime. It provides that where a worker in an undertaking works after the hours of work fixed by the rules of that undertaking, the additional hours done shall be regarded as overtime work. It further adds that a worker in any such undertaking may not be required to do overtime work unless that undertaking has fixed rates of pay for overtime work. It is important to emphasize that a worker shall not be compelled to do overtime work except for undertakings or enterprises the very nature of which requires overtime in order to be viable, or which are subject to emergencies to prevent or avoid threats to life and property. So, Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the above provisions, a worker may be required to work beyond the fixed hours of work without additional pay in certain exceptional circumstances, including an accident threatening human lives or the very existence of the undertaking. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry, through the Labour Department, undertakes regular inspections of all workplaces, including foreign companies, and receives intelligence on labour practices. By virtue of this, the Ministry ensures that employees of foreign companies are compensated appropriately for overtime work done in the undertaking, and where non-compliance is observed, these foreign companies are punished in accordance with the law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member, were you authorized to take supplementary question?
Okay. It's okay. Thank you, Minister. Minister, the Speaker, I want to follow up and ask if, apart from the court and the Labour Commission, the Ministry has also put up a forum or an avenue that can help workers who have such breaches to resort to.
Minister, did you get the question? My brother, may you repeat the question?
I want to ask employees that have grievances, apart from the court and the Labour Commission, is there any other forum or avenue that the ministry have created to help or aid some of these breaches, to resolve their issues?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
The required agency required to resolve labor issues is the Labour Commission. We rely heavily on that. It has elements of some legal processes, very genuine legal processes, which can end in fair arbitrary discussion, arbitrations. So I believe that is sufficient. Yeah, where you fail there, then the court may take action. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Minister. Yes, Honourable John Darko.
Right, Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Minister, please, in the course of your duties, have you come across these foreign companies that have violated the rights of Ghanaians to the extent that they don't pay them the required overtime hourly wage? And what have you done about it, if you have come across any such company?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, not in recent times. There is a history of it. And if you want to know specifically where the history is coming from, maybe we can research and bring you the information. But in recent times, we haven't had any of that. Thank you.
Very well. Honourable members, I think we've done enough with Honourable Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment. Honourable Member, on behalf of the House, let me thank you for attending upon the House to respond to your own colleagues. You are hereby discharged. Let me now invite Honourable Minister for Defence. I think Honourable Minister for Defence has enjoyed the deliberation. I've monitored him. Honourable members, let's turn to question C under urgent questions. And the question stands in the name of Honourable John Intimfodio, member for Ascent South. Honourable, the ranking member, the minister is here. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. May I rise to ask the Minister for Defence the rationale behind the termination of all 15 Major Generals 2-star and equivalents and above in a command of the Ghana Armed Forces following the appointment of a Brigadier General 1-star as Acting Chief of Staff, Acting Chief of Defence Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, respectfully, you may take the podium.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to appear before the August House of Parliament to respond to the question asked by the Honourable Member of Parliament of Assin South. Honourable John Intim Fodio seeks to understand the rationale behind the termination of all 15 Major Generals 2-star and equivalent and above in the command of the Ghana Armed Forces following the appointment of a Brigadier General 1-star as Acting Chief of Defence Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, within the constraints of confidentiality and secrecy that guide the Ministry of Defence, I proceed to specifically respond. Mr. Speaker, in answering this question regarding rationale, I'll draw on three themes: the purpose of the Ghana Armed Forces, precedents within the Ghana Armed Forces, and regulatory framework. Mr. Speaker, following my appointment as a Minister for Defence by the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have striven to implement measures aimed at improving service efficiency of the Ghana Armed Forces. Touching on precedents, Mr. Speaker, in pursuing service efficiency, we relied on the time-tested precedents that has ensured the sustainability of the Fourth Republic. As an illustration, and let me emphasize that Major Generals are released at age 63 and Lieutenant Generals are released at age 65. In 2001, after a change of government, 6 Major Generals and 4 Lieutenant Generals were released from the Ghana Armed Forces with their ages running from 56 to 62. In 2005, there were 7 Major Generals. Mr. Speaker, in this instance, none of them were near their compulsory retiring age of 63 in the Ghana Armed Forces. All of them were released. All of them were released, unlike in our case, where some have been maintained and are serving in valued and enviable capacities presently. It is instructive to note that when all the 7 Major Generals were released in 2005, a Brigadier General was appointed as the Chief of the Defence Staff, 2005. Coincidentally, the Brigadier General and I belong to the same secondary school, Pope John Secondary School and Junior Seminary. In 2009, after another change of government, there were 6 Major Generals. Similarly, all of them were released, and a Brigadier General was appointed as the Chief of the Defence Staff. I'm skipping to the need, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Minister, Speaker, go ahead. Let me be abundantly clear. Even though Reverend John Intim Fodio alludes to the termination of all 15 Major Generals, 2-star and equivalent, I must state that the Honourable Member of Parliament for Assin South got his question wrong. Respectfully, if the wrong question is not corrected, it can mislead the public since the cameras are here. Here are the facts. Eight Major Generals, 2-star, had reached the point to commence their terminal leave pending compulsory retirement. 8. 4 Major Generals, 2-star, aged between 60 and 62 years, are to be released prior to their mandatory retirement age of 63, in accordance with Ghana Armed Forces regulations and precedents. Mr. Speaker, let me add, out of the 8 who had reached their 63, Major General Alvini Aite, who is among the 8, is being sponsored in the rank of Lieutenant General to compete for the high office of Military Advisor, Office of the Military Affairs of the Department of Peace Operations at the Assistant Secretary General level at the United Nations headquarters in New York, USA. Mr. Speaker, this means altogether 12 Major Generals, out of which 8 were due for their terminal leave prior to compulsory retirement, will be released from the service sometime in December 2025 and January 2026, save for Major General Alvin Aite being appointed at the UN. Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of transparency and accountability, I wish to account for the whereabouts of the 3 Major Generals, because the Honourable Member of Parliament mentioned 15. I have mentioned 8 who had gotten to the 63 compulsory retirement age, and also the other number that takes you to 12. What this means is that you must account for the 3 that makes the 15. And 1, Major General Robert Afram is serving currently as Deputy Force Commander, United Nations Mission in South Sudan, UNMISS. 2, Major General Anita Asma is also serving currently as Force Commander, United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, UNDOF. And 3, Air Vice Marshal Felix Asante has been appointed as the Acting President, National Defense University in Ghana. Regarding the framework, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully submit that the Commander-in-Chief is mandated by Article 212 of the 1992 Constitution to appoint the Chief of the Defense Staff and Service Chiefs acting in consultation with the Council of State. I'm happy to report that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama complied with the mandate. And as already posited, precedents in both 2005 and 2009 supports the appointment of a Brigadier General as the Chief of the Defense Staff. Mr. Speaker, let us bear in mind that the current Chief of the Defense Staff is in the same intake as the immediate past Chief of Air Staff, who is a 3-star general, and his immediate predecessor, Chief of Air Staff, who was a 2-star general. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, let me assure that this process to release the generals is rooted in the relevant regulatory and historical framework of the Ghana Armed Forces to promote service efficiency as we reset Ghana and work with patriotic zeal to continue to implement measures that will safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our dear nation, Ghana, secure our democracy, and ensure the protection of life and property. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Intim Fojo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given the minister's own response...
Please, let's listen to him. Yes, Honorable Intim Fojo.
Given the minister's own response and reference to history, he has admitted and conceded that indeed this number of terminated generals is unprecedented. Now, the follow-up question is, couldn't the Commander-in-Chief have avoided the huge financial loss to the state in terms of gratuities to be paid, in terms of training invested into the terminated generals, many of whom have even up to 2 years to retirement?
Honorable members, why can't we be tolerant?
Couldn't the Commander-in-Chief have avoided the huge financial loss to the state, given the unprecedented number of discharged and terminated generals, per his own records, 10 in 2001, 7 in 2005, and 6 in 2009. This number, per his own submission, is unprecedented. Wouldn't the Commander-in-Chief have avoided huge financial loss to the states in terms of gratuity?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Member of Parliament is inviting the Commander-in-Chief to insist that even when generals have attained the mandatory retirement age, they should still be kept. I have submitted here that out of the 12, 8 had reached that threshold. That is the reality on the ground. And this is why, Mr. Speaker, when I gave a similar briefing to the Committee on Defense, Interior and Security, I cautioned that let us be cautious about the kinds of things that we discuss in the public domain regarding defense, security, and interior. The fact is, all 15 generals, 2-star and above, have not been released from the Ghana Armed Forces, as your question alluded. 8 had reached the compulsory retirement age, and they've been processed for their terminal leaves pending release. Only 4 will fall in the category that you are mentioning. And I've also stated here and now that 3 of them, okay, 1 has been appointed by this administration as the acting president of the National Defense University. 2 are serving with the UN. This is what we refer to as ensuring service efficiency, which is a rationale. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Intimfojo.
Mr. Speaker, the press release by the Ghana Armed Forces dated 30th April 2025 on resumption of general releases of soldiers in the Ghana Armed Forces defeats the assertion just made by the minister regarding the mandatory, and I read, and I quote, the Ghana Armed Forces wishes to formally announce to the general public that it will resume the release of soldiers. Oh, no, Mr. Speaker. The Chief of Staff, Mr. Speaker, the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General William Ejapon, hosted a gathering of all 2-star generals in the Ghana Armed Forces at his office in Burma Camp on Monday, 28 April 2025. And during the meeting, the CDS expressed its heartfelt appreciation and admiration for all the generals who have been terminated and released from the service, occasioned by the changes in command. He extended his gratitude from the President, the Commander-in-Chief, acknowledging their invaluable contribution to the Ghana Armed Forces.
Well.
Mr.
So
Speaker,
what's the question?
So it is not. They themselves in their press release indicated that they were not mandatory retirements. They were released ahead of their retirement. Mr. Speaker, given the fact that Ghana Armed Forces has been expanded to 4-star status, 4-star command status. And now, having had a 1-star general who had, within a period of less than 3 months, promoted to 3-star status from 1-star, still 1-star short of the 4-star that is required at the helm of command, what will be what will it be? What will be the implication of morale and command structure? Thank you.
Minister, I hope you got the question. Minister, I hope you got the question. Very well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to assure that morale is very, very high because the Ghana Armed Forces has a pyramidal structure. And for systems that have pyramidal structures, if the top doesn't move laterally or vertically upwards, the down becomes what? Stagnant. So morale is very high. But because you went back to insist that all of them were retired when they were not supposed to, I want to once again reiterate that per the regulations, for such officers, for every year that they served, they will, for every 4 years, they will accrue 1 month as terminal leave. So when you are processing them for release, if the person served for 40 years, the person has 10 months of terminal leave. That's one. Two, you need to also appreciate that the facts will not change. That if you take Major General E.W. Kotia, okay, 64 years, it's supposed to be 63. Major General Ivan Aite, 63 years. I can go on and on and on. I deliberately elected not to mention names. So 8 had reached that age of 63, with some even exceeding the 63. Morale, let me repeat, is very, very high because when we are dealing with a pyramidal system, and it's a pyramidal system that presently has over 100 major generals, brigadier generals, 1-star generals. And when you mention that the current CDS was appointed a CDS when he was a 1-star general, I have submitted here that precedents in 2005 and in 2009 will bear me out that a brigadier general was appointed by President Kufuor in 2005 and a brigadier general was appointed by President John Evans Atta Mills of blessed memory in 2009. And in the case of the current CDS, okay, 2 of his intake mates, one exited previously as a 2-star general. No, he didn't. One exited as a 2-star general, and the immediate past chief of air staff, who is also his mate, will also be exiting as a 3-star general. So, Mr. Speaker, morale is very, very high, and the error in the question must be corrected. That 8 out of the 12 had reached the age of 63 or beyond. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, I thought the question was 4-star general now being replaced by 3-star general. Is there any? If I got the question right?
No.
Yes.
There were several questions within his question. about a 4-star general being replaced by a 1-star general. In the case of 2001, Lieutenant General Kafia was replaced. It doesn't matter who becomes, so long as the person satisfies the armed forces regulations. In any case, this is the first time this is the first time that we have had a 4-star general in the Ghana Armed Forces. And so for us,
Minister, hold on. Honorable members, please. A lot of people are watching us. A lot of people are watching us. People are even watching us beyond the borders of Ghana. So, as much as we can make things lightly, we don't. Minister is speaking, say, "Oh boy." I mean, who said that? Honorable members, please, this morning, Mr. Speaker admonished us, and I believe we all should take cue from this. It's not good. Yes, leader.
Minister. Mr. Speaker, I take a very serious view of this matter. This side of the House is always insisting on ministers coming here to answer their questions. Then when ministers come and they're answering questions, then we make such derogatory remarks. Mr. Speaker, this is most unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, we shouldn't forget that there is a report of the investigative committee that investigated the incident that occurred during the vetting of ministers. That report is before this House. And we are trying to manage the report. And in the face of such reports, then we will behave this way.
Honorable
Who's talking about blackmail?
Please.
Who's talking about blackmail? Who's talking about blackmail? Who is talking about? Do you know the recommendations of that committee? Do you know the recommendations of the committee? Is it because we are being lenient and not enforcing the rules? If you want us to start enforcing the rules, we will enforce the rules. We will enforce the rules. We will enforce the rules. I will have every report taken in this chamber. Let me assure you that in this chamber, I have been through everything. Ask those who were here. Go and ask the former speaker, Michael Quay. I have been through everything in this chamber. You know what I'm talking about. Please, when we are cautioning you, be careful. Because if we insist on unleashing the full rigors of the rules, you will find yourself wanting. You will find yourself wanting. Make this the last time. I insist, make this the last time.
I'm just giving the opportunity to leaders. Let me. Honorable Suleiman. Honorable Minority Leader, let's hear you. Honorable Minority Leader, let's hear you.
Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader, let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon we were greeted with the virtues of patience and tolerance. I have had a fair relationship with the majority leader, and I would want to keep that respect that exists between the two of us. But I would equally urge all of us that when it gets to a situation where we are admonishing but lace it with threats and use our left hand, it's also not in the best interests of this House. Mr. Speaker, I agree that the majority leader, as a leader of the House, if something is going wrong, he as a leader has a responsibility to guide the chair and even admonish. But Mr. Speaker, because he has spoken on a matter, I am compelled to respond for the purpose of records, because he says that he has cited a report which has far-reaching consequences on some members. Mr. Speaker, the author of the report himself is a subject matter of investigation. He crossed to come and put off our mic, and we had a petition, which petition is before the Speaker. I have not seen any report. We are two leaders, and as two leaders, we are supposed to see whatever report. So when the impression is created that something has happened and is being suppressed, I think that that is not the appropriate time to issue such a threat. We had a petition questioning the person who authored the report's conduct. So we haven't gotten there. I think that both of us, this issue of reckless heckling, it comes from both sides. Please, can I finish? We listen to the Speaker. You see, Mr. Speaker, I think that what we all have to do is to guide our backbench on the limits, the limitations of heckling. Some reasonable heckling, is allowed. But, Mr. Speaker, both sides. I mean, yesterday I had a cause to talk to some colleagues outside of this chamber that, look, you can heckle me. I don't have a problem. I'm used to heckling. In courts, when you really want to practice in our courts, you endure heckling. So I'm used to it. But some of you go too far. Mr. Speaker, I would want to plead with the leader of the House. He would want to admonish. But in admonishing, it goes into record. I have not seen any report. I have not been engaged in any matter. What I know is that our side petitioned with evidence against the conduct of the author of that report which has been advertised. And it's on record, that petition has not been heard. We have even sent a second petition because that person who is now making recommendation for people to be punished crossed and came and violently put off our mic. We have it on record. The videos are there. So when it rains in this house, it doesn't fall on only one roof. So let us all be measured and be guided. And I'm ready to cooperate with my senior brother. I've always accorded him that respect. We met at ECOWAS Parliament. He's senior at the bar, and I will respect him. I will not take that respect away from him. Never. Besides, he came into this house before me. But I would also encourage my respected senior that by their actions you shall know them. By their actions you shall know them. The cameras have captured his gesture, insulting people in the chamber. The cameras have captured. Mr. Speaker, so I would encourage our leader that on such occasions let us engage and engage extensively. And to all colleagues on both sides who are part of the backbench, please let us be measured. Mr. Speaker, I'll conclude. Even as I was on my feet, a colleague entered and violently used his hand. Please. And violently used his hand to abuse. The camera captured. Leader did not see. But colleagues, I saw the minister, I won't mention the minister's name, cautioning him to calm down. This is a person who is bringing people to justice, that some people must be punished. He came in. No, Mr. Speaker, I need to conclude. To gesture attack. Mr. Speaker, we'll cooperate with our colleagues, so that we live in harmony in this chamber.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister for Defense, you've asked two questions, two supplementary questions, and that's how our standing orders may allow you. Other members, no, you have asked two questions. So
I have one more. The last and final.
How come he has three? Okay, you ask.
Most grateful, Right Honorable Speaker. To my respected Minister for Defense, my last and final follow-up question. The former Chief of Defense Staff was intake 26. The current Chief of Defense Staff is intake 30. I want to find out from the Minister that couldn't the Commander-in-Chief have found any general in intake 27, intake 28, intake 29 to be appointed Chief of Defense Staff, and is any of the generals from intake 27, 28 and 29 still at post, or all of them have gone home? And if any is at post, why? Thank you.
Honorable members, please. Honorable members, I am responsible for the admission of questions. Minister,
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are many qualified people in the Ghana Armed Forces, right from recruits all the way up. His Excellency the President elected under the circumstances. And I've told you that of the 12 that will be released, 8 have reached the compulsory retirement age and they are being processed to be released. You understand? So the domain that you are looking at may be 4. The President, in his wisdom, in ensuring service efficiency, decided to settle on Brigadier General William Ejapong, who, as I've said here, his intake mate was once a Chief of Air Staff, 2-star General, and also a Chief of Air Staff, 3-star General. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I am fortified. Mr. Speaker, I'm fortified by Order 891, and I proceed to ask the Minister for Defense that in his response to the question, he said the intake mates of the CDS, some were appointed when they were 2-star generals and some retired as 3-star generals. I would want to find out from the Minister, that is it a case that at any point in the career of the CDS, he was denied promotion, for which reason he remained a 1-star general until his appointment? Thank you.
Yes, you can answer the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not seized with the facts regarding denial, but considering what I also know about the current CDS, and I have deliberately stated here right from the outset that confidentiality constrains a lot of the answers that I have given. For instance, when I mention service efficiency, unpacking it is a whole load. Perhaps at the level of committee, I can unpack what I mean by service efficiency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Kenneth Damoa.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Minister said, Reverend Tim Forjo, by saying that 15 generals, 2-star generals, and equivalents and above is not right. I want to correct that. It is right. We have General Thomas Opompepra, the CDS. It's for the records. For the records. We have General Opompepra,
Honorable Member,
Lieutenant Generals.
Honorable Member, are you listening to me? You are to ask questions. You are not. If you want the minister. Honorable Member. Honorable Member. Well. I'm happy that you come again. Well, I'm saying this is a supplementary question. You don't own the original question. So if you want to ask questions different from what the minister has given by way of answer, then you have to come by your own question. So ask supplementary question relating to the answer he has given, please.
Honorable Speaker, because this is a house of records, and then he said what the questioner indicated wasn't right. So I wanted to find out from him whether he took into account. The question says 2-star generals equivalent and above, meaning 3-star generals, 4-star generals inclusive. And if you add the number, the CDS 4-star general, 5 lieutenant generals, and you add it to the 8, it's more than 15. So it is correct. So I wanted to find out whether he did not take into account the 3-star and the 4-star generals.
Did you get a question? Did you get a question? Okay, let's go. Honorable members, the minister is minded to respond to him. Please, just allow.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The honorable member fortunately has served in the Ghana Armed Forces. When I was at the 37 Military Hospital, he was a serving officer. The question is clear. The question says, among others, behind the termination of all 15 major generals, 2-star and equivalent and above. Wait. The kind of arithmetic you are engaged in does not lead you to 15, does it? It doesn't. The arithmetic you are engaged in does not lead you to 15. That is what tells you the question itself is wrong. Mr. Speaker, when I got the question, I nearly wrote to Parliament to ask the questioner to correct the question. But I decided, out of respect for my ranking member, to come and answer to the best of our ability. So the arithmetic that Honorable Damois is engaged in does not add up to 15. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, please, I want to ask leave of you to ask a second question, sir. Under 89.
Thank
Member for Sherman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister, is there any provision in the Ghana Armed Forces regulation or any statute that appointment to the position of the CDS should be the most senior officer in the Ghana Armed Forces? Thank you.
Honorable Minister, are you minded to answer the question? Well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to the best of my knowledge, there is no such rule. And I believe that is what guided other presidents under the Fourth Republic to have appointed 1-star general, brigadier general, to the position of Chief of Defense Staff. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Well. Honourable members, I'm taking one, and honourable member for Asante Achem Central.
Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence. No, Mr. Speaker, I just crave your indulgence. I'm a Minister of State, please.
No.
Mr. Speaker. I beg you, Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence. We must be security matters.
Honorable Minister, just hold on. You haven't caught my eye, please. You haven't caught my eye. Honorable Member for Asante Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Asante Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to find out from the Minister whether he would agree with me that between 2005 and 2009, when brigadier generals were appointed as CDS, they happened to be the senior most. Do you understand the question? If I may repeat the question. Mr. Speaker, I ask because he cites 2005 and 2009. And that these people trying to create an impression that some juniors were taking over some seniors. But I'm asking whether he knows that between 2005 and 2009, when these major generals were appointed, they happened to be the senior most.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I left out about 3 pages or 4 that had tables, but his question evokes these tables, but I'll still be brief. In 2005, Brigadier General Ativo was released at 62 years. Air Vice Marshal Mante, 59 years. Major General Yache, 61 years. He had not gotten to 63. So your question, in fact, Rear Admiral J.K. Bena, 59 years.
So this has been our live coverage of parliamentary proceedings, and clearly today some ministers of state have been invited to Parliament to answer questions regarding their specific sectors. And you saw earlier the minister in charge of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Rashid Pelpo, fielding a number of questions, especially from the minority side. And a few minutes ago, we also saw the minister in charge of Defence, in the person of Dr. Omane Boama, still taking questions and answering them as well. So we are taking a quick break. We'll return at 7 p.m. with News 360 and then also bring you other big stories happening in the country, like today being the first day that BEC has been written across the country with a myriad of challenges and successes over the years. So stay with TV3. We are resuming regular programming. We'll be back with more. I am Martin Esiedudate.